Hello and welcome to Video Cracks. This is episode 3, and in this episode we are discussing all things Star Wars.
Episode 3?
Mainly all about episode 7. My name is James, special guest host for the evening. I am joined here by the ever so charming John.
He's so good at this, James.
The hilarious Adam, aka Sassy Goose. And the wonderfully intellectual Sean, aka Rooster.
Oh, behave yourself.
So let's get things started off with our first topic, Star Wars The Force Awakens. What did we love about it, guys? How about I start here with Sean?
The way they handled the new characters. Loved the new characters, every single one of them. Kylo Ren, Rey, Finn. I think Finn was perhaps the worst of them.
I'd say Finn was the best.
Why?
Because he was Han Solo, but like cowardly.
Do you think he was Han Solo? I didn't think he was anywhere. He didn't.
Yeah.
Han Solo was far more mature.
No, but in terms of like what Han Solo is, like his character archetype, like the rogue, as it were.
Okay, so we'll go to John. What was your favourite bit about the movie?
Sorry, is this PG TV show?
No, we've sworn before.
Oh, okay. Your favourite part about The Force Awakens, John?
Alright, I'll give you my favourite and least favourite bit. The fight at the end between Finn and Kylo Ren would be my favourite bit, and my least favourite bit would be the fight at the end between Kylo Ren and Rey. Yeah.
Why is
Interesting.
that?
Why? Because you get to see a non-Force user use a lightsaber. You get to see how actually practical a tri-lightsaber is. The whole just everything about it, like cinematography, the scene itself, or like the snow and the black trees and the lightsabers and the dark. And then you get that badass moment with the lightsaber ignites.
Oh god, that did send chills.
This only bit of light in the darkness. Yeah, it was quite good at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then all those reasons, well, not all those reasons. The fact that Rey does the exact same thing.
Well, we'll get onto that when we get onto the worst bits.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Get ahead of yourself. Get ahead of yourself. Adam, your favourite part of The Force Awakens?
Kylo Ren.
The X-wings were really cool. That was my favourite bit.
What bit?
The X-wings coming in.
Oh yeah, that bit gave me chills. Yeah, when all the rebels are getting pwned, and then all of a sudden there's just in formation, just.
Did it make you take that wing a real stiff?
Yeah, it did, man.
Especially the tracking shot with Poe.
Yeah. That was a bit
That was
far-fetched.
way cheesy. That.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a pilot.
That line, wasn't it? That's actually just another reason. I think it's not necessarily Finn's character, but perhaps from the dialogue he was given, things like that.
Yeah, his lines.
A lot of people agree that it doesn't sometimes feel a bit Star Warsy. Like it's a different kind of comedy because the way he's oh, you got a boyfriend, you got a cute boyfriend, and it's similar to how Poe Dameron's the way his script was written, especially at the start when he's do you talk first? Do I talk first?
Yeah,
so that's good.
Effectively.
Yeah, the little wittiness.
It did work. It is good for a reason.
It is good.
But
I eat that shit up though. I fucking love that shit. Let's be honest.
It worked with Poe, didn't it? But not so much. I'm not bullying Rey. Rey was awesome in every other respect. No, Finn rather. Finn was awesome in every other respect.
I like Kylo Ren. He reminded me a bit like Alan Rickman.
He was like a young Alan Rickman, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, that's what I liked about it. It was kind of cool.
Which side, sort of Snape, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Or Hans Gruber.
Was that actually that actor probably played Snape in the movie, didn't he? With young Snape.
Couldn't, I don't know.
He could have.
No,
No, because you do see him in the movie.
I don't think it was Adam Driver.
Probably not, but he could have. He would have made a convincing Snape.
He would have.
Got the look.
He would have.
We don't know about his British accent.
What was it? His unhinged humour.
Yeah.
Sir, we've lost the droid. Cuts slash it down a console. Anything else?
Yeah. Those stormtroopers as well when they turn around when he's just wrecking the joint and they're just oh no, we're gonna go patrol somewhere else.
I couldn't tell you though what my favourite part was. I was just, it just
Right.
turned me into, oh yeah, it's apart from Rey.
I love her shoulderless costume.
Oh, when I watched it the second time, I totally noticed that. Like, that's totally her thing. She has her shoulders out every time. Ooh.
Best shoulders in the business.
Other than the one moment where she's wearing the jacket
Yeah.
that Poe Dameron gave to Finn.
It's when they're in the snow and they run.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But
Worst bit of the movie.
yeah, I liked just the way they handled Han. I guess I just seen him back. It was just like the old ones. It wasn't necessarily a pinpoint moment or what they did with his character. Just the nostalgia was enough for me.
Oh, I'm going to disagree with that when we come to the hating part, though.
Okay. Well, why don't we go on to the worst parts that we thought about the movie?
Oh,
then?
we haven't spoken about BB-8 though.
Oh,
Oh
it's
yeah.
a huge misstep there.
Misstep.
Do you not think so? I
No, I mean what we have done. We have misstepped in BB-8. Sorry.
Oh.
I love BB-8. Let's be honest.
Did you just see the pitchforks
Same.
and torches?
Everyone gonna come and kill me now.
I can just see his little head like drooping and rolling away. And it
Oh,
sounds like when he
no.
sees Poe Dameron get caught.
So
You had to like BB-8. The thumbs up with the flame and
Yeah. Another very
I
tough.
can't believe it was all puppeteered, wasn't it? For BB-8.
Was it?
I think
Yeah.
it was.
I wasn't CG.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was puppeteered.
Oh.
How weird is that?
Oh, that's one thing. Sorry, I'm ruining the whole structure. Puppeteering. I noticed there was tons of practical effects in this film, and not all of them were like amazing.
Yes, that's true.
It sort of
Yeah.
took me out of the film
Yeah.
a little bit.
When she meets BB-8 for the first time, that one that's grabbing BB-8 with the
The net.
the
Yeah.
thing that is on, the
Yeah.
way that walks
Oh
is
yeah,
so
it looks like you could
Ugh.
just some armatures and shit.
yeah. It doesn't look the best. It's good production value on like the models. They look great.
Well, it's contrary to that. You think the thing that was drinking out the water?
Oh yeah.
Was that CG?
No,
No,
that
that
was a puppet.
Oh, then I guess that's
Yeah.
my point then. Yeah, I didn't notice that being bad.
No, it was quite good. That was
Well, I
it.
think parts of it was CG, parts of it was.
No,
Like,
I
head must have been, but
Puppeteered.
when it walked away, you could
hits.
see it was CG.
No, I think it was all puppeteered. Isn't that?
I think it was, yeah.
Was it? Looked disgusting, whatever it was.
I think that was the point, wasn't it? Yeah, it was so
Mm.
thirsty. Oh, it's
Big
massive
fucking Snout.
snot
and
and
arse.
snout. So now let's move on to the worst things we thought about The Force Awakens. Should we start back with you, Sean?
Yes, as you mentioned, Han Solo.
Okay.
I didn't like him as much. Now, if you go back, I'm thinking of a scene now. If you go right back to A New Hope, when him and Luke are talking about Princess Leia, it's just when they've got out the Death Star, and Han turns to Luke and he goes, "What do you think about her and a guy like me?"
Yeah.
And Luke goes, And he goes, "Come on, what do you think?" And Luke goes, "No." And Han just sort of smirks at him.
Yeah.
There was that rogue type. It
Yeah.
wasn't in this film. He was only skin deep. The Han Solo that we knew, because we were too. Fair enough. They may have been too busy trying to establish new characters.
Yeah.
But that Han, it was a very face value Han Solo. It wasn't. He didn't have moments like that in the same way.
Mm.
Well, I think I think you were touched on like they probably did that intentionally because they didn't want to give, like, in my opinion, Finn, the new Han, someone else to compete with.
But I'm just going to drop it in now. But then they went and killed him. They went and killed him after copying Obi-Wan Kenobi for a film.
What?
Well, Han literally was a stand-in for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
Like to the point where
yeah.
they're on the Millennium Falcon and they're in the same space where Obi-Wan Kenobi spoke to Han and Luke about the Force. They're in the same position. Finn even gets out the remote. And Han said it's all true. And then they get to the Star Killer and Han and Kylo Ren. He's giving them an order and he stops to go, Han Solo. The same way that Darth Vader stopped. He's giving them an order and he stops and goes, sense of presence. Presence I've not felt since, and walks off. And then when Darth Vader greets Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's, I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. And then when Kylo Ren greets Han Solo, it's, I've been waiting for you, Han Solo.
Is that not the original George Lucas vision that some of us love? The poetry, the
Well,
rhyme.
I don't think it's rhyme though. I think that's laziness.
Oh.
I think they went too far, perhaps mirroring in this regard, and that's what I think that cheapens Han's death, because we get a face value Han Solo that's shoved into the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's not, and he does something that's completely out of character for himself, because Han was the guy that had a brief second of courage, and then he would reassess things because he was this wily smuggler type, and then to go and stand on a bridge, albeit with his son, but the guy who can cut him down or just toss him into a pit, you'd have thought he'd approach that in maybe a more worthwhile way, or perhaps he may have taken the lightsaber and got rid of it a bit quicker when he had the opportunity.
This whole thing about rhyme and rhythm, though, it wouldn't matter so much if he didn't discard all the other stuff as non-canon, the expanded universe, because the main films can just be the same recipe. They're the mainstream films. That'll be fine, because you've got all the expanded universe to delve into story with and stuff like that. But because it's disregarded all the expanded universe, we can't just keep the same recipe with the normal Star Wars films.
And I suppose an argument as well is that if Han was the exact same Han that you left 30 years ago, would that not also create an argument in that he hasn't grown as a character in any sort of way?
That's a fair point, but
I understand where you're coming from as well, because from what you've said, because I've not.
I don't necessarily think diluting him or diluting that character is the best way to show character development.
Yeah, because I'm also shooting myself in the foot there, because it's just they did kind of, I feel, almost cheapen it, how he just went straight back into smuggling, or however he dealt with the situation.
Mrs. is General Organa.
Yeah, it has its own arguments, and I don't know my own opinion really about it. It's just I'm a bit on the fence for it all.
Don't know your own opinion.
I don't know my own opinion. That's great for
That's a way to the dark side. That is.
You're in a glass case of emotion at this point.
No, like, just I agree with pretty much everything you said, but even Han Solo as the rogue type, it still makes sense to me that since it's his son, he wouldn't be all wily and shit. He'd abandon all
that'll be the one thing that would make him serious.
And then have a little tug of war with the lightsaber.
Give it me, it's mine now. No.
Ooh, I thought we were going to the light side.
No, we're going back over there. Okay.
Okay, just take it. I'm going now. Bye.
Now, I want to touch on what John was saying about what his worst feelings towards the film was, because I kind of agree. That was my initial thing when I first watched it, was Rey's fight with Kylo Ren.
They have the ending fight twice, effectively.
I think what I instantly thought, what I guess a lot of people might have thought as well, is that how she was instantly...
The Force is just a fix-all. You are a Jedi now.
Yeah. She was immensely skilled, but then the arguments are she looked after herself for a very long time on Jakku and was highly skilled in staff training, which relates well to lightsaber strikes, because I think they have a when films have those catalogues or books where just give details about the film.
Yeah.
They've mentioned that in the Force Awakens one. It translates well to lightsaber fighting.
As a professional swordsman myself,
I can vouch for Rey.
Yeah, the basics of parrying and.
In addition, Kylo Ren was wounded.
Yeah, and he was just sort of like.
He did that really well, didn't he? Like he hitting himself. It
was a little bit cheesy, but it was like I bought into it at that point.
Yeah.
And also we'd been like poked with a lightsaber in the shoulder at that point
knee,
by Finn, and also clipped.
He poked Finn with the other side guard of his lightsaber.
No, Rey gets him.
Finn pokes him in the shoulder. Was it Rey?
Yeah.
This is the problem. Finn had the same fight twice,
that's
so
true.
You can't tell.
That's true. Finn does poke him in the shoulder. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, he does poke him in the shoulder because that's when he stops playing with him, toying with him, and just disarms him and then slices down his back.
Okay.
I think that's one thing I'm interested to get everyone's opinion on is the effectiveness of lightsabers now, like how we all feel about it. In the last 6 movies, lightsaber you pretty much, unless it's special door material. That takes a while.
Through everything.
Pretty much you just flick your wrist. You can slice anything. Whereas in this, people take blows and the lightsaber seems to bounce off to some degree.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
more like a regular sword.
there was more. There was a discussion about that I had the other day with someone, and it was talking about how even the skill used of a lightsaber, how the prequel is all acrobatic. And he's like, and I think it all reflects this idea. I'm just going for an in-universe explanation at the moment.
Yeah.
Talk about the practicalities of it in a second, but that it's in the prequels they are trained, they're Jedi at the height of their finesse.
Yeah.
So every blow is a calculated, it's a
don't
trained
really
sword.
shake it
It's the master. Whilst they know the limitations of a lightsaber and how deep they can go with it before it might get stuck or what have you, or how easy it does cut through things.
Okay.
So right, one last thing for me. I'm fine. I think it's the lesser of two evils. Yeah. On the one side, you've got lightsabers that can cut through anything with a flick of the wrist, and in order to have dramatic fights, you have to have these big, long, boring, choreographed lightsaber fights where no one touches anyone. And
Boring. Obi Wan.
except for certain people.
All right, we'll get on to that. You want to carry on with that?
Oh yeah,
discussion?
and then on the other side, you've got lightsabers more akin, I suppose, to the games where you can explain it as armor or just the effectiveness of lightsaber. I don't really care about the actual science; it's more just the actual story and what's interesting, what's dramatic. Whereas this, you can have more interesting fights now, more tense fights, without people just
I was going to say that I agree with that because
About it being a ballet.
yeah, that was a big argument. But then I was going to go into a discussion what Sean was saying about something George Lucas said himself about how he made the films and why he made the fights the way they did.
Yeah.
But we still need to find out what Adam's worst feelings were about the Force Awakens.
You're doing a really good job of this, James. Go on, Adam.
So we're not going too far off topic, but yeah, we're having some good discussions here, people.
I reckon they brought back too many of the old characters too soon.
Too much nostalgia.
Yeah, too much rounding up. It was too try-hard for my liking. Yeah.
Too many fedoras were tipped, you might say.
Yeah. It was too we got Leia, we got Han, we got Luke, we got the rest of
No,
them.
they didn't really, spoiler alert, we didn't really have Luke.
Well, we've already spoiled it by telling you.
Was that not Luke?
Han killed.
We didn't really have Luke's one, it was only at the end.
Oh, yeah. Wait, is this not a spoiler coming up?
We've already said that Han gets
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, I don't think I introduced spoiler.
That's a new concept.
Start again!
Right from the beginning, I'll delete it all now.
Beep.
Too much nostalgia. I guess they didn't want to do what they did with the prequels because I think what George has argued against the new one is that saying stuff like, at least I tried original stuff, but it kind of got through back in his own face with it was his own idea and it was one man's vision, but people didn't like that because Star Wars became everyone's baby. That's why certain things they didn't like, but
the original Star Wars
like the argument is, like you're saying though, they did play it very safe because I think every discussion that's ever out there about this film now is that it's mirroring not just A New Hope, but elements of all the original trilogy.
It's like these new films coming out, this Han Solo film and this Boba Fett film and Red Leader film.
Rogue One.
Rogue
One's next year, Han Solo's 2019.
Are they getting a new actor or something that's playing when he's young?
Yeah. Guess who's do you know who Chandler Riggs is?
No.
Do you know Rick's son, Carl Grimes from Walking Dead?
Fuck off.
Yeah, he's auditioned for it.
Oh, he's auditioned, he's not got the role.
Against people like Logan Lerman and Star-Lord, whatever he's called, Chris Pratt.
Oh, Chris Pratt. Oh, he'd make a...
He'd be a great Han Solo.
He's up for Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah.
That's why...
No,
if there's anyone to replace... if there's anyone immediate to replace Harrison Ford... Because they're going for any age at the moment because they don't quite know. They just want to get the right actor.
And then work a script around that, maybe.
Yeah. Because they'll have plenty of stories, but there was a German lad who acted in The Age of Adeline who played a young Harrison Ford, and he is a spitting image of the young Harrison Ford.
Oh, really? The
question
question is if he's a good actor.
Last thing, I've not watched The Age of Adeline to see, but
my mum has. She said it was very good.
No, I was going to say a lot of other people seem to think it was actually a pretty decent film. He did a very good job of portraying a young Harrison Ford.
Oh.
So he seems perfect for me if he can do it.
But yeah, for the Indiana Jones thing though, they've already discussed Indy 5, and they say they don't want to do any Indiana Jones without Harrison, and they don't want anyone to play. They don't want to make him.
Indiana Jones cast all of a sudden.
But just wrapping up that bit.
It's so true.
Moving
but
swiftly
yeah,
on.
let's move swiftly on to this Han Solo film. I like this discussion. How does everyone feel about that though? Because would you feel it would reveal too much about the character? Does everyone like a bit of mystery about his secret past, or do you want to go too much into it?
Interesting.
It's not. Yeah.
As a character to carry his own movie.
No.
I think.
Well, I reckon.
Sack that off. Ewan McGregor is the right age. He's willing. Let's have an Obi Wan Kenobi anthology movie.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
I totally agree though. He is the shining light within those prequel films throughout all of them.
Him and the Emperor.
So we'd think as well that he played Obi-Wan in very different parts of his lifetime.
Yeah.
It's very. I loved Ewan.
No,
Personally.
yeah, Ewan's awesome. I just have Sean's point on the Emperor. Like the actor is awesome.
That's what I mean. The actor.
Yeah,
Jumping, spirally gymnastic Emperor
No.
is a bit weird.
But he chews scenery in episode 3. There's no one on par with him acting wise in episode 3. He demolishes it. He's there, chewing the side of the Senate building by himself. It's like, is anyone please, there's another actor in this film.
Yeah.
So how would anyone pitch a Han Solo film for themselves?
Alright.
An anthology film.
Starts with his death.
Starts with his death.
The story.
No, I think it should be told. Harrison Ford should introduce it as an old Han Solo, like if he's retelling a story.
As a Force ghost.
Right.
No, that's not how it works.
Not everyone gets to be a Force ghost.
I reckon it will be how he met Chewie.
I was about to say
Yeah.
because the whole like
Imperial officer.
When Han met
Imperial
Chewie.
officer.
Well, apparently he met Chewie
As an
Imperial officer
or
or as an
freedom.
Imperial cadet, and
Oh,
Chewbacca was being
yeah.
a slave and he freed him.
Oh.
That's how they became
Yeah, because
buddies.
that's in the. I don't know if they're going to keep that, but in the extended canon, that's how it works with Wookiees.
Can't
They're like
call it the extended canon.
But no, let him get
Yeah,
to his
sorry.
point.
They've been
the
destroyed.
the abolished extended canon.
Yeah. Thankfully so.
AX. Wait, I can't.
Wookiees were in the extended canon.
They were used to create the first Death Star as slaves, weren't they?
I didn't
Oh, okay.
know that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Alright. No, I just mean like in terms of Wookiees, like as a warrior race, generally quite fierce and not trusting of other species. But if you, it's like what do they play like a blood, not a blood sacrifice, a bond or whatever.
A life debt.
A life debt. There we go. Yeah, because you get that in the old Knights of the Republic and stuff like that.
Yeah, with
Jar Jar Binks.
Is it Zalibar?
Life debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
Jar
yeah,
Jar
yeah.
to do as
Qui-Gon.
well.
You also have a life to play with Dyson Hisson.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Basically,
Be
Jar Jar
gone with
was
him.
Chewie
Do you say Jar Jar was Chewie?
for the prequels, yeah.
No, he wasn't. Don't even. That's utter sacrilege.
I think the theory was that Jar Jar was meant to be the Yoda of.
Jar Jar was
What is happening? What are you saying?
I thought Jar Jar was meant to be the bad guy.
The bad Yoda.
Oh no, that's not even confirmed though.
Because how? No,
No,
it,
that's
it
a
was.
fan theory.
It was a
doesn't
matter.
fan theory because he appears as an idiot and then he was meant to be pulling the strings because he's the one who gives emergency powers to the Chancellor, and apparently every time he's talking to Padme, he's waving his hands like Jedi mind trick kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm with the boss man, whatever he's called.
Boss Nass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boss Nass.
Boss Nass is what?
He's like waves his hand. He's like, "You're gonna be the
The
general."
big
And
gun.
he's like, "Oh no!"
Oh yeah.
And like, he does loads of stuff like that. And it's
See, like on face value, that sounds like cool mirroring, like the whole the original vision writing, like repeating what's old but putting a twist on it. That, but obviously in practice would probably be terrible, right?
What, with Jar Jar Binks being the villain?
Yeah.
It's
The
just
ultimate twist villain.
because it's just not believable.
Yeah.
no, yeah, because that's the way he made it. Like, he bottled out after the first one, apparently, because he was too much of a comic relief.
Yeah, because everyone hated him so much and he got
He was
what
too
he
much for
wanted.
comic relief.
Yeah, like it was
Because the fan reaction was so bad.
That's like it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
that's what I
kids
mean.
fucking
He passed him
watch
off
it,
as a
so-
comic relief.
Yeah.
instead of going through with that image there on the screen.
For all those who can't see the image on the podcast,
it's
it's Jar Jar.
Oh no,
in a
it's
Sith
going to
hood.
be a video. We can have a picture of whatever Adam's describing.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, I'm not Superman with videos yet.
Darth Binks.
Darth Binks sounds terrifying.
Well, thinking about that then, before we get back to
Mr.
Han Solo,
Binks.
what about Snoke?
Who's gonna turn to the dark side?
How are our feelings on Supreme Leader Snoke?
Snoke.
Yeah, Supreme Leader Snoke.
Well, I know we have conflicting opinions on this because you yourself don't want it to be the prophesized Darth Plagueis.
No, that would irritate me. I said it to you before. I'll say it again. I don't want another Dark Lord. I want Thrawn. God damn it, Thrawn is the villain Star Wars needs.
I think you're gonna have to explain who Thrawn is
Yes,
to all
please,
the beautiful listener.
If they don't know,
brackets S.
Thrawn was a Grand Admiral. He was one of the few alien species that managed to get very high in the Imperial Navy under Emperor Palpatine, and he was sent to the unknown regions to prepare for the Yuuzhan Vong and find the old Sith Empire. I think my knowledge of him in that respect is
being big bads that are coming from outer space.
yes. He returned after the Emperor and Darth Vader's death and reforged the Empire. He led a massive resurgence and beat the New Republic back. And he also found these creatures called the Ysalamiri, who nullified the Force. So if the Jedi went to attack him, their Force powers would be useless. And if they tried to deflect laser bolts around him, again the Ysalamiri suppressed the Force. So it made a Jedi just a normal human being. And as was experienced in the Knights of the Republic, a Jedi without the Force is pretty much a child because they rely on it so much. So Thrawn and that side of it, I think there's a far better way to go than having just another Dark Lord in the background pulling the strings. It's been done in everything. It's been done in Lord of the Rings. It's been done twice in Star Wars.
An argument for that though might be that will the average Star Wars fan be so knowledgeable about all this because Plagueis has already been mentioned in the core films. I think a lot of people might.
Sidious also said he killed him.
Yeah, but he also said that he learned to cheat death.
Yeah, he did, but at the same time,
Sidious for thinking
And
that
he's
he
got a
killed him.
massive scar on his face. So.
he does, and I can see why the theory is convincing, but just because it's convincing and it's easy because it's already set up, I don't think they should take the easy route again and keep treading already trod pathways.
I like what you're saying though, because it would be quite interesting to go that way. I suppose it would be because, like you say, it is quite obvious and easy to go in that way. But I have no idea because another option, I guess, or idea is that it would just be someone completely random and new.
Would it not be cool to have not just if Snoke was a non-Force user who knew about the Force?
There has to be
like a Maz Kanata
Yeah.
kind of role. Is that her name? Maz Kanata?
There has to be a physical embodiment of the dark side. Otherwise, what's the point of having Luke in it?
Well, Luke's a good guy, isn't it? Luke doesn't necessarily need to have an exact opposite. You don't need to have an equilibrium.
Well, the whole point of the whole story is to bring balance to the Force.
But
so without a bad guy, then the Force is imbalanced.
No, the balance of the Force has never been stated. Anakin did that. He already fulfilled the prophecy. There was nothing to say it couldn't come out of balance again. And even in the light side's favour in this regard, if Luke was the most powerful Force user and he was on the light side. But there were discussions about how Luke accepted his darkness, embraced it, and also the light, and how he himself is the embodiment of balance, because in redeeming Anakin, Luke became the embodiment of the Force and was balanced both the light and the dark. But
even that in itself is contradictory, because
Yeah.
the Jedi talk about bringing balance to the Force when really by that they just mean extinct.
yes,
Yeah, because how it is as well, I think this whole prophecy thing is it must be contradicting themselves, because they say Sith have been extinct for millennia and the Jedi basically ruled the galaxy or been in charge for so long and have so many more numbers compared to the rule of two.
yeah, because they never explain how the Force is out of balance, do they? How exactly is it out of balance?
Which way is it out of balance? So in turn, Anakin was the chosen one in
Well, maybe that
fucking up the Jedi, and then
maybe that was it. Anakin did bring it to balance by Yeah, you're right. Maybe Anakin.
killing all the Jedi, having 2 Jedi, Obi Wan and Kenobi and Yoda, I suppose, and then him and.
I don't want to be the guy.
In that
I don't
kind
want to
of
be
way.
that guy, but I don't think we've talked about episode 7 in a while.
Well, no, we're just talking about Snoke, weren't we?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right, fair point. If he is Darth Plagueis, though, why would you call yourself Snoke?
Sorry.
That's a good point as well, because Palpatine was the only one who knew about Plagueis.
Yeah.
So, as far as we know.
Yeah. So just call yourself Plagueis. It's pretty badass name.
Yeah, and at that point, well, unless they
he's
could
been
give us an
killed and
explanation.
reborn, isn't he?
He doesn't look like he's been reborn.
Yeah, he's pretty shit reborn. He's not the best looking guy.
I mean, a lot of it's based on, but then I did see in pre-production Snoke was potentially meant to be a woman.
Really?
And I think in this regard, Luke's bigger is emotional, isn't it? It's far more personal than it just being another. Because Sidious himself wasn't a personal thing for Luke. For Luke, it was turning Anakin back, and Sidious was personal for Anakin because Sidious is the one who twisted Anakin. So in this regard, Luke and Snoke, there's no personality. It doesn't need to be Plagueis. Snoke is there. He's just a catalyst for the main storyline, which is Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
So
Yes.
Snoke doesn't need to be anyone important.
And whatever Rey is.
Well, we've only
Yes.
seen episode 7. We don't know if Kylo Ren's going to be in episode 8 and 9. Well, he's going to be in 8, but he might be short-lived like Dooku.
I'm pretty sure this is all leading to a big moment where Rey and Kylo Ren fight off against Snoke together because Luke's wounded or whatever. I'm gonna put my couple quid down there as the bet for that being the ending.
Well, I think I'm going to put it here now for the airways as well, that Anakin Skywalker needs to be one of the ones that redeems Kylo Ren, the ghost.
Oh,
If
that
we-
would be kind of cool as
If we're
well.
going to play back into the whole, there needs to be balance in the Force, and Anakin's the chosen one, needs to do it, then maybe Anakin does need to come back as a Force ghost and allow Luke
There
to...
is talk about Hayden Christensen coming back for some sort
And he's
of.
not the worst actor ever.
No, he's proven
I
it
just
can
don't
be
think he was
actually
getting the
decent.
best material
Direction.
to work with, and the direction apparently. Even Carrie Fisher has
Oh my
said
god.
stuff about
her
George's
thoughts on-
direction. She said something like, the only real direction from George was when he was Alderaan blew up. It's like, oh, your planet's blown up, blah blah, lost everyone, something like along those lines.
Now pregnant mother.
But yeah,
It's like a George Lucas impression. Just keeps going on.
Well, it's not an impression. George Lucas is sat here with us right now.
Thank you for coming today, George. It's a pleasure that you could take the time out to come and sit with us and discuss Star Wars.
No problem. It's all part of my original vision.
As you know, I'm a huge fan of keeping it to your true vision.
all right. Well, let's talk about a topic that I want to talk about.
Oh.
Has anyone heard about the topic about Rey's accent?
Being very British.
Going on to that's how that might affect her birth parents,
Well, they were obviously members of the Empire.
members of the Empire
Villains,
or of the Republic.
potentially.
Because there's talk about, when Padme is talking, she changes her accent from when she's in the Republic and talking in the Senate. She's, the Trade Federation, and I'm really
Federation.
proper
Let's do
posh.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has when she's in the Senate, she talks very
I'm
posh.
not
So
going to commit to.
Republic kind of dealings, Coruscant and that are British, and essentially when she's not, she's an American. So I think they intentionally did something to do that, because both actors are, her and Ray and Finn, are both British, but they made him American. So they're keeping continuity in that kind of way. And people talk about, is there real effort into doing that? So is there talk, say, if she was Luke Skywalker's daughter, is she just going to be some unknown from Coruscant, or endless possibilities? But I guess it's a lot of
She does.
fan.
She does look a lot
ideas.
like Keira Knightley.
Natalie
Keira
Portman.
Knightley.
She could be the decoy's
Is that not
daughter then.
Padme.
That's Natalie Portman.
Shit. Natalie Portman. Sorry.
Well,
Knight-
Keira Knightley was one of the decoys, yeah.
Yeah.
Was she?
She was
Yeah.
the decoy in the first one.
I'm just gonna say right now, I don't know a lot about Star Wars.
What would she call that? Port Orde or something like that?
But that was the second one. So,
Oh, was it?
That's why I'm hosting.
Queen's right.
I watched it
John.
second. Corday dies.
Courtney.
with a different actress, and then anyone knows Rose Byrne? Nope. Maureen McTaggart in X-Men.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
She's Professor X's squeeze.
Yes, I know. She's
in
also
X-Men First Class. She's in the next one as
I
well.
thought that was
She-
Mystique.
No, the agent, the CIA
They're
agent.
sisters, you freak. Not sisters, sorry. They're effectively related.
he's saying
Oh,
Professor
well,
X is a
Professor
woman.
X is. No, it doesn't matter. We're going off topic.
Put us back on the rails.
Yeah,
James.
put it back on the rails.
Was anyone else not just like severely disturbed by Carrie Fisher's Botox?
It did affect the way
I think
she
they should have
talked.
recast her.
I
They
got
should
over it.
deserve-
I got over
In
it.
the second viewing, I got over it. The first viewing, it was very obvious, and it distracted me in some scenes. As she was a permanent pouty face, wasn't she?
No,
Well, just,
Like,
I can't blame the
4%
woman.
of her face
Of
and
course you
boots.
can.
Yeah. But
What do you mean you can't blame the woman?
she can age
she can do
gracefully.
what she can age gracefully. She can do whatever she wants.
How's getting
Botox.
Botox any different from getting your hair cut? At the end of the day.
Oh, let's not talk about this.
Yes, skating on.
Skating on. I'd like you guys to pitch me your episode 8 because John brought into this discussion, I think, and
Wait,
it was.
before we go to that,
Or no, it might have been you talking about how Kylo Ren might not even make it to the 9th episode.
Yeah.
So, has anyone got any sort of ideas on how they want to pitch their own episode 8? And who would like to start us off
well, I was going to say,
before we get on to
do you want to tell about the end with Luke, how unsubmersive it is?
Oh yeah, John. Are we gonna carry on?
Yeah,
talking
no,
about
no,
things
we
don't
can
like?
go there.
Oh yeah. So, the ending, multiple ways. I'll try and say this as quickly as possible. So, Rey is walking in this grass planet that weirdly looks very earthy anyway, with the tiled brick, not tiled bricks, the
On the
architecture,
island
the
at the
bricks.
end.
Yeah,
look
that was very.
that sort of took me out of the movie.
Took
itself.
very off of that, wasn't it?
Yeah, but get past that anyway. Walks off. So you see the hooded figure of Luke. Looks awesome. Luke turns around. He looks awesome. He looks exactly like he should as an old Jedi like master, effectively. First weird thing is when he does a very Zoolander like hood take off. Like I don't know. You couldn't have just done another take on that. No one else think that was weird, or just me.
I think I've been battered by the music at that point, though.
And then
Yeah.
starts crying.
Well, yeah,
Almost.
so they back and forth. Obviously, there's a very silent moment, very quiet moment. That's fine, but they linger way too long on each face shot, and then takes out the lightsaber, like points at him like a.
You.
You could say it. You could say it.
I don't want to say it.
Or
It's
like
a
an
bad word.
accusation.
It's a bad word.
But it wasn't, I suppose. It's more just like, here, take it, please.
Yeah,
But the way she was holding it was a bit.
looking a bit silly. And then Luke starts crying, and then the thing that bothered me the most was that very last shot. The
Helicopter shot.
Yeah, the helicopter shot with
Yeah,
them as the
that,
focus.
I was going to say that really took me out of the film because you can just tell
That's
it's a sweeping
not-
shot. It's a good shot, but it's something
It's
that you
not
see
Star Wars.
in a documentary of
Yeah.
like albatrosses on the island.
Yeah.
It's not. And here we have. It's like no. Here we have a Luke Skywalker just receiving a lightsaber from a Rey.
Yeah, that scene.
It did take that one.
It just
did
needed
take
a
me
bit
out.
trimming and lose that last shot, or make it a bit slower. Like I felt like it was too fast. The background was.
I think
moving
that
too
speaks
fast.
to something that was missing. It was the pace. The whole pacing of the film was very quick, very J.J. Abrams. And I think that was to the worst in this case of the film, that you missed. In this respect, I missed George Lucas because he had a habit of really letting you sit in the worlds that he had created. And that was because it's a labour of love of his, isn't it? But at the same time, that always spoke to Star Wars. You know, Luke stood and watching the twin suns on Tatooine and the shots of Coruscant. This film was almost quite claustrophobic in that regard, and it was just you blinking, and every time you blinked, you were in a new place or a new scene. It lacked a soul.
Yeah, like but first time I saw it, I fell asleep, and I thought I missed like an hour of it. And when I watched it the second time, I only missed like 15 minutes.
I guess that is
just
very J.J.
well,
Abrams.
I think that just speaks to modern
It does.
adventure flicks these days. It's just the formula, very quick pace, very very quick, witty quotation marks lines.
But I think it would have benefited perhaps just a couple
That's
more
one
moments.
thing it could have borrowed from the original films.
Definitely. Oh, well, even the prequels as well. The prequels did a good job of you
Mm.
knew where you were in the prequels. That George did a good job of immersing you in the planets themselves.
The various Senate rooms and meetings and
Yes.
That weren't there.
Geonosis.
That were all CG.
Geonosis.
so,
Utapau. Camino.
He had some great ideas for planets. I do
Well,
agree on that.
he had one idea for each planet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Who would be crazy enough to have one just geographical
So,
a whole planet made out of a city? Well, but let's move on to our pitching episode 8. Has anyone got any ideas that they'd like to throw out there?
I can't wait to see the Knights of Ren.
Oh yes, that's a discussion as well. Do you think they'll all be Force users?
Yeah, I hope they are.
no.
They
Kylo's-
skillfully,
The old
'Cause-
one with the lightsaber.
yeah, which is generally
But if he
Just-
gets buddies with him and he knows the Force, why won't you teach him about the Force?
Well, it's not.
I might not be able to use it.
yeah,
It doesn't work that
they
way.
need to have midichlorians.
Well,
Adam?
maybe he's only picked people who can use the Force so that they can use the Force.
But I mean, a bit like the Jedi and the Sith.
Yeah, but they're not Sith, are they? Though?
No, they're not. They're not. But I mean, they can still create another rival order, couldn't they? if they
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah.
Well, I think in that, I don't think they're going to be all Force. I don't think any of them are going to be Force users in this. I don't think any of them are going to be Force users because they've already sort of
What's the point?
tested the waters with that stormtrooper with the weird stun baton thing. So like,
Yeah, that didn't work very well, did it?
well, it didn't work in the sense that it's like he picks up a lightsaber and then suddenly there's a stormtrooper with a melee weapon.
Yeah, that just happens to deflect against lightsabers.
Yeah,
Happy coincidence, isn't it?
not that he needs it. Apparently, just bounce off his armor anyway.
yeah. I never even thought into that. Why would the stormtrooper bring a
Why is there just that one guy?
one guy traitor?
Maybe he's really strong with the Force and he knew the lightsaber was there. So instead of picking up his blaster gun, he picked that thing up instead.
But that leads me to another point, actually. Before we do leave episode 7, Captain Phasm.
Who?
Phasma.
Phasma. Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma.
Thank you, host.
Oh God, you're amazing at this, James.
I'm doing fact checking. Captain Phasma, was she underused? Is that what you're going on to?
The- What was the point?
What was the point?
What was the point?
Was it not to
Oh.
sell toys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad. I thought
She's the new. She's the next Boba Fett, isn't she?
No.
So-
No,
Essentially.
no,
Who does
she's
fuck
not.
all?
No,
No,
does
she
fuck
is.
all.
She
No,
is
she's
the new
not.
because Boba Fett does fuck
Boba
all.
Fett.
At least she hasn't been eaten by Sanford yet.
Yeah, but
That's not vagina.
Yeah.
like I spoke to you last time,
But there's still
Fett-
2 films left, yes.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
Boba Fett gets a really cool intro and like
No, he doesn't. He's just stood there.
No.
amongst the greatest bounty hunters and the
You
fucking
don't-
Imperial army can find.
And Darth Vader has to take a moment. Darth Vader has to take a moment out to point at him and go, "No disintegrations. His reputation is such."
Whereas she, literally at the spare moment fucking idea, they capture her and force her at fucking laser gun range to lower the shields, and she just does it.
Which shows she's cowardly. I don't reckon
I
they'd be able to coerce Boba Fett into lowering the shields. They'd have
No.
been like, eat my jetpack, bitch.
Yeah, but Boba Fett has. What character development do we have from Boba Fett from the first 2, from the films he's in? He's
You don't
just
need
he has
character
he ha-
development all the time.
yeah, but how do you know that he won't lower the shields from that then? Without
'cause
anything
you know
about
he's
his
a badass
character.
and just go out fighting, and you won't be able to capture Boba Fett at the spare moment, like. Because they're just wandering through this fucking shield thing, and then Finn goes, "Oh, I've got an idea," and then they swipe
And
up this.
how
chrome-
did they know where she was as well?
Because she's chrome.
Well,
she
it's just a
shines.
bit of coincidence, really.
Yeah,
Just
but he knew exactly. He was like, I know what to do. We'll go and get her. And then there's a planet-sized space station bigger than the Death Star.
No. Bit of coincidence, but I still completely disagree. Boba Fett is not really described as cool in any
This
way.
is
This
the,
is
the
just
reason why Boba
fanboyness.
Fett was given all this because he sold the most action figures.
Yeah.
Is what it came down to. That's why he wants to get. He's going to get his own standalone film, and this is why a lot of people in the build up towards Force Awakens they were saying that she is going to be this Captain Phasma is going to be the Boba Fett of these films.
No, in
Because it's at the end of the day, like people forget that these films that George made, especially, were made for 10-year-old kids.
Oh, the prequels were anyway.
but Boba,
Essentially, yeah, that's what he. But that's what he always says himself, though.
Yeah.
But I suppose, yeah, she has 2 more films ahead of her, though, to give her the chance
She'll
to
do something
get.
badass,
They will
and
definitely.
neither
get
of
that.
you will like it because you've already got this preconception of it.
No, but in Empire, for
shit.
example, Boba Fett was wise enough to wait and fly out with the garbage to catch Han Solo because he anticipated that might be a strategy Han Solo's used.
Look at this.
He shows far more cunning. He does show cunning, and he shows a like I said, Vader knows him. That the building is there. It's very subtle, but it's there. Like
Very subtle, that really is.
Boba Fett is a badass bounty hunter. That corrupt, what's she called? Captain Fantastic.
Yeah, let's go with that
Captain
one.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she walks around like she's got a stick up her ass, like another disciplined soldier. That's all she is. She's just a shiny soldier.
I
Gwendolyn
hope they bring
Christie's
Boba
a good
Fett back now
actress
just
as
so she can
well.
kill him.
Who?
Gwendolyn Christie, who plays.
Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, I like her.
Mm-hmm. She's cool.
But yeah, and then again when they're freezing Han Solo as well, and Chewbacca's reacting, Boba Fett straight up with his gun. Darth Vader, no, back down. There are moments that just sell Boba Fett far more than Phasma was sold.
Alright.
Well, I suppose they can't be the exact same character. They've got to
No, they
make
just
a little
wanted
bit
They just want
different.
to tick a box and put a female, like evil henchman in.
No, I think James is right. It's more about selling toys,
Yeah.
more about having another Boba Fett, and they also saw the opportunity to make the character a woman.
Yeah,
So we can all agree.
she's crap.
She was very
She was there
underused
for
in this
toys.
film.
She
She's
was there
going to
for
trend
toys.
on
But-
Twitter, let's say.
Yes, but she will be.
She could have been awesome.
She's going to be better. They are going to utilise her a lot more because obviously everyone's already had this. A lot of people have voiced the concerns that she did fuck all in this film.
Well, I'd have made.
She didn't
her-
even shoot a blaster. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She didn't even shoot.
Like if
You
you
see,
go on.
I would say I would have made her the primary antagonist in this film. I'd have put Kylo Ren a bit more on the back burner. I'd have put the Star Killer on the back burner. I'd have shunted them perhaps even into episode 8 and made her the big thing.
No,
made
'cause
her
no,
on the planet investigating it. You know, looking for the droid.
Yeah.
After Rey and Finn, she's the one hunting them down.
No, and I see where you go. I see what you're going for there, and that would also, it would go in line with what you're saying about sort of keep staying away from the whole Sith and
Sith
Jedi
Lord,
fight
yeah.
and have more of a normal antagonist. But they wouldn't have been able to do what they wanted to do with Kylo Ren being this Jedi struggling with the dark side and the light side, like trying to be Darth Vader.
Well, potentially could have if he was helping Phasma. You know, towards the end, sort of she's failed. So Kylo Ren comes in. So this is when you meet him. He's not a direct, mirror of Vader. You see Kylo Ren halfway through the film, and he comes in to help Phasma. But maybe he lets Rey and Finn go.
No,
Like maybe it doesn't have to be him struggling and then killing Han Solo. Then we could have had Han Solo for a bit longer as well. It wouldn't have been such a copy. It would have been different.
yeah. No, I mean in terms of the how fans would react to that, how the audience would react to that. If you put Kylo Ren in the background, he does look menacing. He does look awesome.
Who
You could
is
have done a very
obviously
Vader thing with
marketed
him.
as the big bad.
Yeah, and that would have, I think fans would have seen him. That would have built up a big.
And they didn't get a lightsaber battle at the end or something. It was just
I
Phasma.
reckon that Phasma woman. Do you know at the start when they're taking the rebels and is it Poe?
Yeah.
He puts the thing in the droid. Send the first wave in. The rebels manage to hold them off a bit, and then send Phasma in, and she manages to lock down the compound.
Yeah,
and then
I agree
Kylo
with that. They
Ren
should have
comes in.
shown that she was a badass in that
Yeah.
kind of respect. They could have come in like she's gonna right, let's shut up now.
Yeah, and then Kylo Ren could come in and do his freeze laser bolt thing.
But we could go on to because you mentioned Poe Dameron there.
Yeah.
Does anyone else agree that they feel like he was a bit underused as well?
It was a little. I don't know. I
they
think I got just enough of Poe. I
Yeah, at the
liked
start.
what I got given.
At the start, he was
Good
originally
save.
meant to be killed off,
Yeah, he was.
but
They probably should have done that.
he didn't like that, or JJ changed the script.
The actor
But
didn't
because
like it,
the way it's come
The actor
about
didn't
is
like
that everyone's seen them originally before the film came out was that they were going to be the new three, like the love triangle kind of
No.
thing going on. But I suppose it's good that they went in a different direction, and Poe always has the
What, so
next two films.
Is Poe going to be the new Han Solo then?
I have no idea, but
No, Finn is.
No,
it could-
Finn's the new Princess Leia.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
what?
fine with
Poe
that.
and Finn.
And there's talk about making Poe gay. Like, oh, Disney brave enough to do that in this new world. Might as well make it with the transsexual as well. All right.
Yeah.
The new world.
Transgendered, yeah.
In 2016, but everyone, I think Star Wars is already. Everyone's already talking about how making.
C-3PO's gay. They don't need a gay character.
Hey,
Wow.
you don't know that. He just acts a bit camp.
How do
I'm
you- how-
offended
how do
as
you-
a camp person.
Sorry, dude.
Damn right.
You're ashamed to be gay, is that what you're saying?
How do you know C-3PO's a he?
Well, he doesn't exactly have metal taste, does he?
Yeah, you cis
Just 'cause-
motherfucker.
It's like saying it's exactly the same as saying, do you know if R2D2 is a or a girl or BB-8?
Well,
I think everyone refers to them as he's though.
Yeah. Because men generally are robots with things sticking out.
Yeah, we are. Sorry.
Okay then, let's go on to a different discussion. How would you rank the films in your personal favourite order?
Alright.
And I want us to really argue about this.
Okay. I'm
I'm gonna give points to the winner of this. It's not
Who
gonna be.
gets it
It's not gonna
closest?
be about who, what. This is really movie fights, but it's not gonna be who I prefer. It's gonna be about the arguments you make.
Alright, I'll go
Well,
first.
I've lost already.
Adam's gone in order from worst to best. All 7.
No, I'm going to do it from best to worst.
Okay, best to worst. All 7.
All 7.
Okay.
Episode 1.
What best?
Yeah. Shut up.
Sorry, what?
Let the
So
record
one.
show that he told me to shut up.
4, 5 and 6. 7. 2, 3.
Interesting. Who would like to go second?
We're really good at this.
Okay. I don't know what just happened. Did you hit your head today, mate?
I'll explain.
We'll see what his arguments are.
Yeah.
But I would go
Oh god, I'm gonna hate judging this.
4 as the best. And I'm Sean, by the way.
Sorry,
And I'm John.
I wrote it on the wrong thing.
So it's just to explain, I could see James's notes. He was writing mine
Oh,
next
right.
to John, so just reminding him.
Gonna put John then Sean.
I'd put 4's the best, 5 second. Then, today at least, though this does
Yeah,
change.
on the day.
Today it's going to be 6, but it's very close to 3 and 4 and 7 rather, and then
3, then 7,
and then I put 1
then
and
2.
then 2. I'd say 2's the worst.
I agree that 2 is the worst for me personally.
Alright.
Actually, yeah, I would as well change mine from 723 to 732.
It's already a point deducted there
Alright.
for every change. So be
Alright.
think.
Preface this with I haven't watched the original trilogy in years.
Okay.
And obviously watched the episode 7 quite recently and I really did like it. I'm gonna go with 4, 6, 7, 5.
Ooh.
I wish they were all.
And I suppose it doesn't really matter. Like they're all
So-
joint last. The prequels in my mind. Well,
You can have that if you want.
No, you can't.
1, 3, 2.
Okay, 1, 3. I just like up. They were all meant to be like in order. Or
Sorry,
just messed
Jake.
up my notes. Okay then. Shall we start with Adam?
You have the most controversial selection.
Controversial.
We're not in
That's
James and shit.
idiotic.
I'm judging here.
We'll write yours in anyway. We'll have to
Right,
listen.
right. Mine.
Well,
in.
James's is the correct one.
Oh,
So
is it?
we'll,
Is it?
we'll
'Cause I'm-
discuss, and then he'll tell us what the
And
correct
then you
one
can all
is.
give me shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll all boo in
I
unison.
can't write my own because he'll see. So.
There are kids today.
And we're back.
There are kids today that, when asked what they want to do when they're older, say they want to be famous Let's Players.
Really.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Let's play
The world we live in, right?
I don't know how we.
The league.
No, as in like just playing Let's Plays on YouTube and.
Where
Also-
people talk over playing big games. You don't.
Some of them have brought a bit of joy.
Jonathan
to, like,
watches-
Markiplier, for example. But
My brother watches so many Minecraft ones.
Yeah.
Whilst he's playing Minecraft.
Well, actually, yeah. I
Minecraft
want to be a
is
famous
fucking
Minecraft
cute.
Let's Player.
It's
What?
honestly though, because my mates at uni, they have brothers like similar age to Jonathan. They watch the same shit. It's like Minecraft is massive.
massive, bruv.
Massive. So okay, what am I doing? I'm doing a little intro in.
No, you just.
Welcome
keep going.
back.
Oh, welcome back.
Thank you for listening to our sponsors.
Man.
Oh, we should have actually done that. See if we could have pulled off like a fake radio ad in the middle of it.
have you not seen the one on Robot Chicken where they cut off in the middle of him talking, and then he comes back like, "Did you not know how long I was talking when you guys went? I was talking for fucking hours." Anyway, we're gonna get back to the story. Come on.
Let's just steal that, shall
Yeah.
we? No one watches Robot Chicken.
Anyway. So what am I doing? Oh, we're back and we're talking about our order of the favourite Star Wars films. Arguments ago. Let's start with Adam.
Yes.
You chose the first one as your favourite, as the best Star Wars film of all time.
So, can we just clarify the first one? You mean Episode 1, The Phantom Menace,
That's right.
as your
Beautiful
favourite
fool.
film of all time? Your favourite Star Wars film of all time?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Go.
Oh, right. Reasons why. First Star Wars I saw. In the cinema.
That is a solid argument in terms of
1999.
why
Yeah.
people like things.
No, it's the fact that that was the first Star Wars you saw in. I'm assuming it was 1999.
First Star Wars I saw.
It's the first Star Wars I saw.
Good God.
Google Gaga Sean.
How old were you all?
23.
21.
No, how old were you?
Oh,
I don't expect you to do mathematics.
I don't know. Like, age is not a concept I care about.
6.
No, I was 11, so you must have been like 6 or 7. You should have seen
Well,
this.
no, Phantom Menace I didn't see him in the movies in the cinema. I was like, I think I watched it at Forest House.
I can't remember. I think the first film I watched in the cinema might have been like Spider-Man 1 or Harry Potter 1.
Pokemon, the movie.
You watched Pokemon in the cinema.
I watched
the first
Pokemon
movie.
in the.
I'm pretty sure that's the first
Could
film
have
I
been
ever saw in
Star Wars.
cinema.
You
My
two-
dad.
Anyway.
you two taught me a very valuable lesson.
So did
It's not the nature of one's birth,
Have you
but
not-
what you do with the gift of life.
Have you not seen
Okay, is
seen
this-
that
is-
movie?
No.
No one would. I don't care about Star Wars anymore. Have you not seen Pokemon the first movie
No.
With the clones
with Pikachu and,
And
the tears?
turning into stone.
It was heartbreaking.
It still makes me cry.
What? It's a cartoon, man.
Oh,
Don't.
Look at his face.
You can't. It's just the audience doesn't know that you are just a massive idiot, but they will learn.
By the time it gets to episode 100, they'll just be like, oh, it's just Sassy Goose.
You will be the Carl Pilkington.
I'm fine with that. He's pretty down to earth, yeah.
Yeah, he is actually.
Does the
Respect him
Pilkington
in a
name.
weird way.
Does the Pilkington name great?
Yeah. So Phantom Menace, first one you watched.
Yeah.
Point 2.
Right, and in the originals, it all seemed, probably because of the production value, blah blah blah, it was all very like, there's the Empire and the Rebels, and that's it. Like, I didn't get a sense of anything beyond that. Everything else was desolate. Whereas in episode 1, it felt like you was actually in the universe before it all went to pot. So it sort of made Star Wars for me. It was Star Wars.
Alright, yeah, the world was a lot bigger in Phantom Menace.
yeah, we brought all that come over, but
Yeah.
at the same time, are you saying that it's all style over substance?
I suppose when you're an
Darth
11-year-old,
Maul was,
yeah.
Darth Maul's my all-time favourite villain in the Star Wars.
I don't think anyone can really begrudge him that view.
No, I don't.
Opinion at that point.
I don't. That's a fair point.
Darth Maul was scary.
The pod racing was pretty cool.
Yes, it was.
So you're all sort of just agreeing with me now, aren't you?
No,
No, I'm not
there's
agreeing
a
it's
million
the
other
best.
reasons why it's terrible, but you are making
You're
good points.
you're making the points for the film, but
Yeah.
as to why it's a good movie.
Why it's the best.
Yeah, after that it was the originals, and they're only come second because they made Star Wars what it is.
Why did you
But
put
not
them in
because you
order
actually
of
like them.
release for the originals?
Because they were all equal to me.
Equal,
Yeah.
but you put them with 4, 5, then 6.
Have
And
you
what?
seen the originals?
Yeah.
Alright.
Have you really?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah.
All the way through?
Yeah.
In one sitting?
Not in one sitting. No.
I think we should do that at some point because it might change your opinion.
I've got them on my hard drive. We can do that.
Yeah.
We'll each take a character. Every time they say I have a bad feeling about this, or they mention the Force, drink.
Okay.
Well,
I
none,
did it
none
with
of
Lord of the
them,
Rings. It was amazing.
none of them had anything like to me when I was watching them.
You didn't have a personal attachment to the characters as much
nothing
as...
stood out for each film. None of them said, "Oh, this one's better." I never thought that one was better than the other one. It was just they were all. It was just one long film for me.
Right.
That's fair enough.
I have to also sort of back Adam up on this because the original trilogy, I only like them because I appreciate them for what they were at the time
Yeah.
and sort of what they give me now after watching the prequels first. Isn't like this is why I'm not a Star Wars fanboy at heart. I really love some of the Knights of the Republic games,
Yeah.
Jedi Academy, all that stuff.
But a lot of fanboys love those as well.
Yeah, but like, I'm not a fanboy of the original trilogy. I like them and I like what they did, and I can appreciate them for what they were at the time, and they still hold up today, but I can see where Adam comes from in terms of
Why the episode 1 was so dear to...
why he would be an idiot and
Oh,
say that that was
generated.
the best one.
Right, what I want to go into is why do you put them above the 7th installment?
Because the 7th one just felt like a repeat of the originals. Like I said, it was too much nostalgia, too much. It was just too try-hard, trying to be the original Star Wars.
A lot of its credit comes from just copying
Yeah.
the best bits of the previous. So can't truly be said that it is good of its own merit.
There's nothing that gave me that Phantom Menace feeling when like Darth Maul had those two, when both blades came out of his. Even though he's got those three on his, but it's still not the same.
On the
There's nothing that was sort of like.
But then again, you've also got to bear in mind you were 11 when you saw that, and you're sort of carrying your feeling you had then.
Yeah.
Now. Like if you watch Phantom Menace now, fresh.
I watched it the other day.
No, I mean for the first time.
Oh right.
Do you reckon you'd have the same?
With
What,
the knowledge
in the
of
same-
modern cinema and how films are made nowadays.
Just same feeling as when I watched the originals, knowing that you seeing films like
Yeah.
other films with good product value, and then watching the originals, thinking, "Oh, this is a lot of shit." But you still like them, don't you? You still watch them and enjoy them. You look past that because you know it's an old film.
I just felt a disturbance in the Force. I felt a lot of people angrily slamming their keyboards.
I wasn't saying it was a load of shit because they're a load of shit. I was saying like comparing the product value, like you were saying for Phantom Menace compared to other films, is like comparing the product value in the originals to.
Well, Jar Jar CGI is almost flawless, isn't it? It's fantastic. There's no even today, like Snoke, for example. Compare Snoke, the CGI used for Snoke, the CGI used for Jar Jar.
Jar
Jar
didn't
Jar's
take
20
me out.
years old.
Yeah, it
and
didn't take me out of the movie when I
Yeah.
saw it, other than just him being terrible. But
like
he
George,
fit in the world.
yeah, George just knew how to do it, CGI wise. The Brothers got carried away with it, didn't he? And everything became CGI.
I don't think we're going to get much out of Adam in terms of his justifications.
They
We
are my
get it.
justifications.
No, I mean, like, I don't think we can argue with you too much
Why
on
not?
why that's the case.
In your cases, as to why that's the better, your favourite.
It is the better one.
Yeah.
It is.
So you're at the end of the. My notes are production values, personal moments. What else has it got going for it then? To sum it up, really good arguments.
The universe is saying.
Universe building.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have a fight on your hands with these two for that then,
Why?
because it wasn't the first movie that was released.
No, but it was the first one that showed you more of the universe.
More of the universe.
Yeah, it
Universe
made you
expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, universe expansion.
Very good.
Sure.
Episode 4 Well, what can you really not say about this film? I suppose it is an original adventure that does nod, of course, respectfully to things like Flash Gordon and some Japanese tales, but also it doesn't hinge on prior films like The Empire Strikes Back does, which The Empire Strikes Back is praised for being so good because it supposedly improves on episode 4 by being darker, but it couldn't be darker, it couldn't exist, it couldn't have these characters to develop without the original film. It brings Harrison Ford as Han Solo is the original rogue person. He was Tony Stark 30 years before Tony Stark was Tony Stark in a lot of respects.
Disagree. Objection.
This is Sean's time.
Overruled.
You say Han Solo is the pioneer to Tony Stark?
As far as film and that medium
Yeah.
goes.
What do you mean, yeah?
The quick-witted, plucky rogue, charming scoundrel.
Tony Stark isn't a scoundrel or a rogue.
Yeah, he is.
No, he isn't. He's a billionaire
He's
playboy
not-
philanthropist.
He was a weapons
Yeah.
dealer as well.
Genius.
The difference between Tony Stark and Han Solo is Tony Stark's rich.
Disagree.
I suppose your argument though is going off films, but in Adam's case, I can back him up with that. Tony Stark is an older character.
I know that Iron Man came around in what, the 50s, was it, or something like that? But
Well, I don't want to be. I don't know about this fact checking now. If this ever becomes a popular podcast, we don't want to be. We don't want when this is huge. We don't want people to be correcting us. So we'll just say it's before.
Anyway, so looking at that side of it introduced characters that hadn't been portrayed as widely before, I'll say then, including Han Solo. It gave us a look at a universe far away,
Far away.
with
In a galaxy.
again in a galaxy far away. It's the things it pioneered visually.
What, a long time ago?
Star Wars, the first film, was the catalyst for special effects and for the cinema, and it's left an effect on the Western world. So its cultural impact is unrivaled.
Yeah, but that's got
I would say
that's got nothing to do with.
it does have something to do with why I like the film, because
your opinions are.
Nothing to do with what the film resulted in. It's got nothing to do with the credit or the money it made.
that's up to you. My opinion.
These are arguments.
So your
does have
opinion's
some weight.
based in.
This is
Some of it does,
why
yeah.
he likes
Alright,
them.
yeah, alright.
Like, I have a respect for the film because of that. And I'm saying about the impact.
Yours
I
is
mean,
the same film.
Pixar came from the first Star Wars film. With no Pixar, no Toy Story. These are things that were born from Star Wars.
Would you say
Which
people
is a
today
franchise,
recognise
so-
Star Wars more than they do Christianity? Would you say Luke Skywalker is bigger than Jesus?
In an ideal world, I would say Darth Vader is bigger than Jesus. However, it is not an ideal world.
Would you say the tri-lightsaber is more recognisable than the cross?
It will be.
Some controversial.
But there are some moments in it as well. Some moments that it's hard to describe. That these character moments that just made you. The bit where Luke blows up the Death Star was an ultimate fist in the air moment. Like, this is the heroes winning, and it felt fantastic to watch. Like, Darth Vader had him in his sights, and I have you now. And Han Solo just rides in on the cavalry, woohoo, wow! And you can't help but feel exhilaration watching that moment, because this was a genuine sort of start and end to a story. You watched it, and Obi Wan Kenobi, his mentor, looking over his shoulder through the Force. It had that originality that I haven't seen elsewhere. Everything else is an homage or a copy, or it's a harken back. And perhaps, yes, Star Wars is maybe, people who remember further back than I do will be able to turn around and say, well, no, I did watch that, and Star Wars does borrow from that. That's fair enough, but from my time at least, and from the last 70 years, it does hold that. And objectively, like I said, it did have a massive weight in its production. So I think it has the character. I think it has the impact, and so objectively and subjectively, I think it's the better one.
Okay, John.
Oh, I need to change the order that I did. Sorry.
That's allowed. Go on.
It's shit.
So So it was originally 4, 6,
Yeah, it's
7,
just
5.
the original order: 4,
5,
5, 6,
You can-
7, and then that's just it doesn't really matter. 1, 3, and 2, or 3, 1, and 2. Either way, 2's last.
I think we
Well,
can all agree to. It's
You're
last.
essentially the same as Sean, except Sean has put 3 before 7.
Oh no,
Yeah.
wait, sorry. 4, 5,
4, 5,
7,
6.
6.
Oh, 7, 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rewrite that.
You think bloody Kylo Ren is better than my Ewoks?
Right, prequels don't matter for you, yeah?
Prequels. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
My list contains 4 movies, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Then, yeah, because I'm running out of space.
Sorry.
Okay. So, as to your arguments...
Right, my arguments. 4, amazing original score, amazing moments, bone chilling, like looking out on the twin suns, Luke, use the Force in the trench run, all that stuff.
It
And
kept
the,
it mystic as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
Actually,
the
That
Force,
was-
the Force didn't have any. That's the what is so amazing in the original trilogy about the Force is it's indescribable. It's just and not in a bad way. Like it's not like Harry Potter magic where anything can be anything. Like it has sort of a tangible. You understand innately what the Force is
Yes.
and what it can do for you.
Very good.
What's next? What was my next one?
It was 5.
5.
Empire. Oh.
You know what? Actually, it might be 4, 7, 5, 6.
Fine, that's fine.
You think 7's better than Empire?
Like I said, like way back. I haven't watched the original trilogy in a long time. I'm going off.
The Battle of Hoth, Yoda's introduction, like
That
Yoda's
is
true
right.
introduction.
Let
Right.
him give his arguments first.
20 minutes of setup for the fact that Luke, what's it called again? Luke, the actor,
Skywalker.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Shut up.
Just let him
20 minutes of introduction and setup for the fact that Mark Hamill had a car crash and a lot of plastic surgery. But
That was 6.
that's 6.
No, it's 5.
That's 5.
No, he had the carpet stream.
No, yeah,
6, I
no,
thought it was.
no,
It's
it was
5.
between
Yeah,
4 and 5
he's right.
because he was all.
'Cause he had
That's why he was all messed up. That's why that all happened. Because he had a ton of plastic surgery
right,
and he was
okay.
still recovering and he had to shoot. So it sort of that's why his battle scars and why his face looks all puffy and disgusting.
Fair enough.
So 20 minutes of setup for that. A cool battle. I'm not gonna deny that was awesome. Then, I mean, as awesome as Yoda is, a lot of that is very boring. Like that, all the training and everything that's going on outside of the training. Then, like, you get the Han Solo moment. I love you. I know that was cool. Luke versus Darth Vader. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But I don't know. I'm just going off there's some awesome moments. I know why, and I wouldn't be able to fight with anyone why they'd say 5 was the best. But
Right.
there's a lot of stuff in it that remembering it isn't very interesting. And then I really enjoyed 7. It had a lot of bad stuff in it. It was parroting just a lot of the original trilogy, but I really fucking enjoyed it. So I rely on swear words way too much.
This is very good. Keep going, I must say.
6. There's just too many things going on. And Ewoks.
It should have been Wookiees. That was the original intention. He should have gone with Wookiees. We
Yeah.
all know it.
That would have been awesome.
It made sense as well.
His argument for that, though, is... Oh, I can't join in yet. Sorry.
It was toys, wasn't it? Did he not?
Share my time.
He wanted a race to beat the Empire that was indigenous and that was not in touch with technology. He couldn't use Wookiees because he was originally going to use because Chewbacca obviously showed that he could use technology very well. So he made a cute, fluffy...
Oh.
And then also for the argument for toys to get kids in because they love teddy bears.
Did you ever really watch the Ewok film?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Christmas movie?
No, that was about Wookiees. Christmas, the holiday special.
Really old. There was a giant spider. They had to go across a giant spider's web, and there was a troll or giant that they had to trip over down these stairs. But this kid crash landed, I think, in like an X-wing or something,
Is this not the Dreamcast now?
No, honestly, it's a proper film. I remember watching it. And he had his little sister with him, and his little sister was sick, and the Ewoks like got their little voodoo medicine together and healed the sister.
It was a cartoon, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
It was live
Bloody
action.
hell. Bloody hell.
And yeah, he had a little blaster gun and everything. I didn't realise it was Star Wars until I saw like Ewoks and Star Wars. I was like, oh shit.
I think I'm done.
So you've done very good arguments for yours because you've given me reasons as to why all of them are. I'd like to touch on why you thought placed 7 below 5, 6, and 3.
Oh, because it was so unoriginal. Three was original. It was darker. Like, yes, it was not perfect. Absolutely understand that and get that, but it still felt like Star Wars. Where 7 does not feel like Star Wars to me because it's too quick. It's missing George for the worst in this regard. The score is underplayed in 7, whereas the score is very present in 3. At the same time, the majority of the compliments you give to 7, like I said, are merits from the other films. They've already been done. It's riding the glory of other films. At least 3 is its own story. Like,
well, for me personally, I mean, maybe I subconsciously noticed the poetry, the borrowing.
you keep telling me there's that one.
maybe I subconsciously noticed it, and that made me like it. But as far as I can tell, it wasn't Star Wars. It wasn't the original Star Wars. But I don't think you can make those films again.
No.
I don't think you can make that tone, that slow pace these days.
Well, no, 'cause I think because the prequels captured that slow pace. Yeah, yes, sometimes it was for their worst in episode 1 when it talking about politics.
For their entire detriment, because I don't get any value out of the prequels like you do.
What about episode? Do you not get anything out of that scene with episode 3 where Anakin, the rumination scene where Anakin and Padme, and you can see Anakin breaking. It's the moment where he's fighting, whether he goes and tries to save Palpatine, the man who's promised him that he can save the one he loves, or does he stay loyal to the Jedi Code and get the acceptance, everything that he's tried to get up until that point?
No, because I didn't care about Anakin as a character at all.
Really? Okay.
At that point, I mean, if that could have been awesome, if I did care about Anakin, but up until that point, George Lucas had pretty much murdered that character. This is
the best argument. You two keep playing off each other. Keep going. I whispered to him. I said, "You need to get in this because you're not winning."
I was gonna say
arguments.
I was gonna say
keep going.
How episode 1 is the best.
Yeah.
Because it rebrands the Jedis. It establishes the Jedi Code and order and who they are and show the Jedi Temple. Before that, they were just like you've said to me before that from the originals, you just assume like the monks and just.
I assumed they were like more like Arthurian knights, like the Round Table.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think it was widely spread?
No, I thought I always got the impression, because I didn't watch them. I watched them after watching the prequels. I always got the impression it was like Knights of the Round Table, like there's 12 of them, and they were very secret council, and they'd help out the Republic, but they were generally doing their own thing, like messing around in Jedi temples, finding artifacts.
I think that would have been better.
Yeah, like not all of them have lightsabers. Like lightsaber is the tool of what is it? A lightsaber is the
tool of the Jedi.
Is the tool of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But not the
not
tool.
a weapon for aggression. Same as the Force.
Yeah. Oh no, he did say the tool. But anyway, like could have had it. Oh, I'm rambling.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Suppose it's my time to say what I liked.
Yeah.
I have previously said Phantom Menace was my favourite, but as of now, the 7th installment, The Force Awakens, is my favourite Star Wars film out of all of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Reasons mirroring a lot of what John
Stop deep
has
throating
argued.
that cock out.
I'm sorry, I was throwing it up.
In this modern world, especially now, like it's the first Star Wars film in the age of the internet.
That was
What
Disney's
kind
cock.
of film has ever, in this just social media age, it has never had a film that has had so much hype, so much expectation, and so much on its shoulders.
And underwhelming.
and I think delivered for me. Honestly, if you can say all you like for borrowing and just mirroring, but if it wasn't, then you can argue the case that it wasn't a Star Wars film in that sort of sense. But I liked the way they took the story and where they did with the new characters, especially with the new characters. I love the handling of the new characters and just the build up for it all, like the marketing for it, the way they perfectly shielded the way the story and like how things were. Like everyone thought the big bad battle at the end was Finn and Kylo Ren, but yes, there's arguments against
it was
Rey.
in my mind.
It was in your mind, but I think the way they handled Rey and Finn I really liked, because it was a new dynamic that we've not seen in that sort of sense, and it was for a modern audience, which in my opinion was just what Star Wars needed in this day and age. Because the older films, yes, I agree with John that they are just timeless and that they are incredible for what they've achieved, but in nowadays the modern moviegoer, it can be a lot harder to get into, and is why I put number 1 so high on my list, which was 3rd after Empire. It's controversial, maybe, but yeah, my 2nd was Empire.
It is a bit. Where's 4th?
It's after 1. 1 is more of a very personal choice, because putting 5th second was that what it did and what it did moving the Star Wars story forward was absolutely brilliant. They followed what they needed to. They set up the story so perfectly, because after defeating the first Death Star and getting the Empire into like tatters, really, like where do you go from there? You absolutely rip apart our heroes and you put them in such a dark spot, and you give the biggest reveal of all time. I'm your father. People don't know. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. That one for me, that was obviously I knew, but I could accept, and like I understood like how in cinema history that was such a monumental moment. And for me, I don't know, it just, Empire does have a really cool, it really is a favourite of mine. But then that's why I get into the reason why I put number 1 3rd, because it was the first Star Wars movie I saw, and maybe I am carrying my childhood feelings towards it, but isn't everyone doing that from a lot of the first ones, especially the first one, that number 4?
Well, I mean, that's, in a sense, it's just exactly why Adam likes Phantom Menace so much, because it was childhood nostalgia for you, isn't it? It was your impression then.
Yeah, but I watched it the other day and still enjoyed it more than I probably enjoyed the original.
Fucking idiot, Adam!
Yeah, I put it below 5 because after thinking over it in my head, I realised that it is not the best of films. Even it was just a bit stupid in some, but it comes nowhere near to how awful the Attack of the Clones is. For
okay,
me,
James.
that is.
James.
I think we can all agree on that.
James, who won? Who won?
I haven't won.
Who did win? Was it me? I think it was me.
I think it was John.
Yes!
He really whacked out arguments like a bad man.
I can't wait to listen.
No, I
back
don't.
and
It's
cringe on that.
between you and Sean were very close. But
Okay.
I've
Sweaty high five.
Yeah,
give
I
it-
can take a sweaty high five. I could take that because he came with 4, 5. Our orders were so similar.
I think
I can
it was
take
so
second
similar.
place.
I think your arguments for 7 really sold me. You really got in there, and I was just absolutely loving the
I
banter
always
you
get
two
in
were
there,
doing.
James.
But yeah, that was.
That's alright.
He was also defending how he felt about the originals, the prequels as well. He gave good insight into all of them, like deep arguments.
This is good, James. You can be host again. I like this. I like.
I'm just borrowing what I've learned from other hosts. all the
Mirroring, you might
all
say.
the podcasts I watch.
The poetry of
The
creating
poetry.
podcasts and YouTube videos.
This was all part of my original vision, James.
Going off the hype for episode 7, did you guys hear about that screening they had of episode 7 where they was watching it. I think it was about 20 minutes in or something. No, it was at a really juicy bit, like where
It cut off.
it froze.
Yeah.
And then
Everyone kicked off
it
for
kicked
a
off,
while.
and then it played again, but without like it didn't play from where it froze. It skipped like 10 minutes.
It was on the opening night, wasn't it?
Yeah. So like for all the hype, everyone like the people who went to see that screening, the film
Ruined
just
for
got
that.
ruined for it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Here's a question: do you think it's going to beat Avatar?
Internationally,
Well,
Do
overall,
we know yet? Is it in China?
yeah, it's not in China till the 9th of January.
How is it beaten Avatar's
Domestic.
American and EU?
It's close.
Domestic
It's
side.
about 80 million from Avatar's domestic.
It's
It's
just
off 8 million.
Yeah.
That's not that much.
No, they can probably do that in a week.
apparently it's going to do it by Tuesday.
Oh,
latest.
so yeah, it's gonna beat domestic.
It's
then.
just the international haul. It's got to get to like 2.2 billion from that
Yeah.
because
It's on just over 1.3 now.
it's 2.7 billion internationally or worldwide. But yeah, the way Avatar got it was 700 million from America, and then the rest 2 billion was from international. But Star Wars is basically neck and neck on their international box office and domestic, so it could get 1 billion in America. We don't know. You never know.
Do you reckon that episode 8 will have it'll make less on its box
I
office?
think it will make less.
Yeah.
It's been overhyped.
I wouldn't say it's been overhyped.
Underwhelming. Well, if it makes less, it shows that it has.
Definitely think nothing will be bigger than this for a long time
No.
because it needs that.
Oh, so
And that it was nothing to do with the
that
film.
rest. Yeah, it could be a much better film. It's like how
Could have been a much worse.
the
film, but
original
still
Star
made-
Wars is made more than all the other sequels, and a
Way
lot.
more than all the other films combined.
Yeah,
What, the original
adjusted
episode
for
4?
adjusted for inflation, it's like the third biggest. It's like made 3 billion or
Oh,
something.
so
silly.
episode 5 and 6
made less.
didn't do as well.
No,
Oh.
nowhere near even with that.
That's interesting.
Even though I know it might not be agreed here, but regarded by most people, Empire's the best.
Most critics rated the best.
Yeah, most critics rate Empire
Yeah.
the best.
I perfectly understand and
Why they
don't
would-
disagree with
Yeah.
the points they make. It's just personal preference.
It is
for me.
personal preference. That was the whole argument, people. Don't kill us.
Slow down.
But yeah, that's interesting for inflation because it made 700 million or something back in the day off like an 11 million budget, which is insanity. Yeah, I don't think adjusting for inflation. I don't think even Force Awakens will be the original Star Wars. But
It does have about it's got 30 years head start on it though, I suppose, isn't it?
for sure.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Episode 8, brief pitch, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, does anyone have any ideas for episode 8?
I could probably riff one. Adam, do you want to go first?
How would you like it to flow?
Kill off Carrie Fisher.
She'll probably die by the time they film anyway.
Or recast her.
Die by the time.
I've got nothing against Carrie Fisher. I'm just saying. She's old.
I just
That bitch is old!
I would have definitely bring the Knights of Ren into it. Ready for like a 5 versus 1.
You say it's time to lock and load on that.
The
That's around.
Yeah, the Knights of Ren need to show the faces because there needs to be a Knights of Ren versus Luke.
What is that silver stormtrooper called again?
Captain Phasma.
Phasma.
Do you reckon Captain Phasma?
Captain
Do you
Phasma.
reckon? I think she's gonna be. I think she's gonna be one of the Knights of Ren.
No, fuck off.
Does that ruin it for you?
It's not going to happen.
I think she's gonna be the first Knight of Ren.
Do you?
I think she is.
Kylo.
That's why she gets silver armor.
No, she's not. She,
Kylo's the first knight.
no, but I wouldn't have like the Knights of John Croker, and then I'd be a Knight of John Croker. I'd be like,
Yes, you
they're
would.
my Knights of John Croker. I'm not a Knight of John Croker.
Yes, you
Can we
would.
bleep out my name so people don't?
They'll find you on Facebook and that's it, they've got us all from there, haven't they? There's some very angry fanboys coming back. You put 7 first? You put
no.
number 1 first?
I'm not ready to be an internet star, guys.
Oh shit.
So yeah, no, so she's not going to be a Knight of Ren.
Can you bleep in like Knights of Captain Phasmo?
I'll keep that.
That's the thumbnail. That's what it's called now. It's just episode
Episode 7.
Nice of Captain Phasmo.
Episode 8, Captain Phasma. I think going into episode 8, they need to right some wrongs. Her being one of them.
Give us something to do.
I would kill Snoke. I want that wrong righted immediately. Kill him off. Get rid of him.
Is this not what we think is going to be episode 8? What we want out of episode
It's
8?
your own pitch, your own synopsis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
Well, I would kill him anyway. I would have
Yeah, what you
now.
want.
Kylo Ren has stepped into being the dark side. I think Kylo Ren should
Good.
step up.
As the main
As the main
bad.
Do
villain.
the whole Sith
Yeah.
thing.
Get rid of. Let's actually see that fulfill itself now.
Mm.
Let's see Kylo Ren get rid of Snoke.
And then Plagueis comes back twice.
No, because he's not Plagueis.
He
That's,
is.
that's too cheap, in my
I
opinion.
think it looks like it's Plagueis.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we'll find out in 2017.
Next year.
Next year now, actually. Yeah. And I think they should. As for Luke, because they're going to have to keep him under control, because I'm assuming by now he's meant to be some big bad Jedi master, which means theoretically he should just be able to walk in and tear everyone a new one.
With one
So
look.
they need to keep him under control. So he's going to have to.
We don't want a Yoda flipping about.
Exactly, the death of Han is going to need to play on Luke throughout the next film. I think, and then
He's not much of a
going
Jedi
into-
then, is he?
well, no, because Jedi are meant to be pacifists.
Well,
not meant to be
he
warriors.
They're
he
supposed
can
to let go
he
of
can't.
emotion.
Yeah.
He should be.
Yeah, but
should
maybe
fight
he's
him.
still learning because he's not had the same training, and we can go through. Well, he learned to be a Jedi when he was older, so.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a Jedi Master. It's going to be more like Ray Mears. He's grown a beard. That's all he's done. He's not
Well,
been through dual.
He can
training.
feel a little emotion, seeing as how he already feels a bit responsible for
And
you know Ben Solo going a bit mad.
Yeah. Do you think that was a grave at the end that he was stood by? Do you think it was a grave for Han Solo?
I didn't know.
Han
I wasn't looking.
Yeah. Well, see,
Oh,
if
that
Carrie
you
Fisher.
feel him through the Force.
Yeah, if Carrie Fisher felt him die, then we'll say Luke didn't, and then. Ah, like
Podcast goal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jolly good.
Why would he dig a grave without a fucking body though?
Maybe you just
Just
put
a
a little
plaque.
twig in the ground and said a little Jedi prayer.
But people don't always put not necessarily a grave, but it's a marker, isn't it? It's a headstone.
Yeah.
We often do that as humans as part of our way. We like to have a point to go and to represent an idol to go and visit.
Yeah, we're not very good with the abstract as humans, are we?
No. And as for Hux, because he's another loose end,
Who's Hux?
he's exactly
Ginger dude.
he's the general Hux who
General
controls the
Ginger.
base.
Oh, General Ginger.
Yeah.
General Ginger.
I think whereas Kylo Ren is going to be training, Hux and Phasma are going to be in episode 8 at least. They're going to be trying to prove themselves again because they both messed up in the last one. Hux, you had this big base which failed. Phasma was a supposedly big badass captain. She got pushed about. So if I was writing at least, I would have their story arc now go into this path of vengeance.
A return, you might say.
Yes, a return.
Phasma.
But that would also keep it because it has to be the way they set it up because it follows on because the first one's a copy of A New Hope.
Yeah.
The second one has to start. It's unavoidable to start. And you have to have this empire now. The First Order enacting vengeance. They can't just be sitting on the laurels thinking, "Oh, we just got our arse handed to us."
Yeah.
They're going to be enacting vengeance, which means it's going to set it down a similar course no matter what you do to Empire. But it needs to be at the end where the difference is as it goes into the meat of the film. The start will have to be the same, but the meat of it needs to be different. Anyone else got any ideas for episode 8?
Okay.
What you want, episode 8.
What I want episode 8 to be. Alright. Small time skip. Rey and Luke training. Luke, because I'm going to ignore the prequels and just go off what Jedi were like in the originals. Ben Kenobi, though he was an old man, they were knights. They weren't backflippy weirdos. Like Luke is a badass Jedi. He can do amazing stuff. He can lift X-wings out of swamps. You can't just walk into, the same way Ben Kenobi couldn't just walk into the Death Star and
Tear everyone's
Tear.
asses apart.
tear everyone at once.
You don't want to OP him.
So we're ignoring that. Finn's off doing stuff for the
I forgot about that.
rebellion. How dare you? Like you said,
Well, you should see the rebellion side of it through his eyes, so that the First Order enacting vengeance, that should be viewed through Finn and Poe.
yeah. Oh, they can be off doing fun stuff together. He's his
Yeah.
gunner. That'd be cool. Yeah, and like you said, because it's a dirty sweatshop knockoff of the old films, obviously it is the return of Captain Phasma. Like, they're going to go off and prove themselves. They're going to strike back, you might say. I really like the idea of Ren. It's a bit like, I know you built up this idea of General Snoke.
Yeah, he's this mysterious character. And you're just going to kill him off.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Correct titles, please. Supreme Leader.
Supreme Leader Snooky. Yeah.
Snooky.
Snooky
boom.
Snooky!
AKA Plaguise.
AKA Plaguise.
Plagueis.
I'm so annoyed. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, that
Made him walk out the film.
in terms of Kylo Ren's arc as trying to be Darth Vader, it would make sense that he would, complete the rule of two, kill off his master, and that makes him that would make him a bit more badass. You'd worry about him more. You'd worry about him not being able to return to the light side, as he ultimately will do, or not.
Or not, no.
He could die in Episode 9.
I'd be upset if he did, though, because it'd be the last of Han's lineage. I'd be like, oh, no.
No.
That's it. So apparently Harrison Ford's meant to return in Episode 8, and the casting calls said return and come back with fast forward. Now, I don't know if that was preemptive strikes to try and hide the spoiler.
Force Ghost.
No, I don't think it's going to be a Force Ghost. I think, if anything, if Plagueis is Snoke, then perhaps Snoke can bring him back and create life and control the midi-chlorians to bring him back that way.
If they mention midi-chlorians in Episode 8, I'm going to walk out the cinema.
Influence the midi-chlorians.
So we've both got our breaking points, really.
That is my breaking point.
I think they really wanted to make sure Han was dead because they blew up.
Yeah,
They blew it up as well as as well as impale him with a lightsaber through his
and
chest,
throw him into a fiery pit.
throw him into a huge chasm, and then blow it
Well,
up.
like, from the way it didn't just blow up, it just turned into the sun,
Yeah.
didn't it? So
So he's definitely incinerated.
Han, in a weird way, is the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he will come
Christ,
back
he's
as
the
a
next
sun Jedi.
Superman.
It's a super sun Jedi.
Yeah.
Saying,
Oh my God, he'll be the Force
He just
itself.
goes out and goes, pew! Gun hand shape.
I'm a Death Star now. That's what it is.
Sorry about the mess.
Oh,
I would walk out of this cinema if Captain Phasma survives 5 minutes.
Phasmo. It's going to become a thing.
It might be very awkward for you now. We'll hold you to that, watching the film.
Well, let's hope that...
You did say you wouldn't come back, though, I suppose. Just go and collect yourself for 2 minutes. Just like scream into your hands and come walk back in.
Oh, well, this song, I'll be there with my watch time. Innit?
I think what they should do though with her is pit her against Finn and Poe, because what I want it to be, I've heard someone else discuss this, but I'm stealing it. Is basically it's going to become Rocky 4. It's a training montage movie. Ren and Rey. Hearts on fire. She's doing the running up with the log on her back, and he's like in the calculated room with Snoke. But if no one,
Sorry. Rey will have a double-bladed lightsaber.
is that what you?
Oh.
Will she?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be yellow. I feel like that's just the colour scheme that they've gone for that'll make the most sense.
Yeah,
Spoilers, you heard it here first.
Double
We've got a few of those in this, haven't we?
That would sell a lot of toys. Double. It's got to be because she's got a staff. She's
Maybe Darth Maul will come back as a Force Ghost and teacher.
okay.
He's not dead in the canon yet.
No, he's
You
just...
come back as a
Well,
real
yes.
person and teacher.
Well,
Yeah.
Not dead.
we think he might be. We were discussing it before. He might be one of the Battlefront characters. Darth Maul, a bounty hunter. We said, didn't we? Maybe Cad Bane.
If they put Darth Maul...
Chewbacca's been confirmed, and
Yeah.
Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi confirmed.
No, he's not been
As a
confirmed.
Force Ghost.
No, it's like old Ben Kenobi just at the start.
You
of the Crisis
can
of
kill
War.
me.
Maybe actually that'd be an interesting.
Ultimate, but you can't attack at all.
Yeah.
shit.
You can just tell people what everyone else is
Hell
doing.
over here, guys.
Ben Kenobi would be a good one because when you kill him, he could just drop into his clothes.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he'd be a support character, and you can tell people to use the Force, and then they do awesome
Use
shit.
the Force.
Use the Force. Luke.
Yeah, that's all he does. You gotta do it in the
Use the
direction.
Force.
It's a skill shot you can miss.
Yeah, instead of the special powers, each one's just a different quote.
Yeah.
Search your feelings.
If you do that to Darth Vader, and then you
What?
can't use him for a bit.
Yeah. Makes them contemplate. They all sit there.
No. But back to episode 8. What I heard was that it should be the training montage movie. Leia, Poe, and Finn are fighting the First Order coming back, and they use Captain Phasma to capture Finn because they know that they're close. To capture him and get Rey out of her training early, mirroring what Luke did, leaving to go save his friends.
Oh, not again.
This is not what's happening. This is just
Oh, right.
what another person's wants or theory.
That's it. I'm about to lose my shit.
But because if no one's heard about Benicio del Toro, he's been cast as a villain.
Yes, I have seen that as well. I'm wondering what he's going to be.
So he doesn't necessarily have to be a Force user, but it would be cool if he, because they're not essentially the Sith, he will be another apprentice or a Knight of Ren.
I think that'd be pretty good.
So then we could showcase Luke Skywalker getting into the fight, because this person's argument was basically a 3-way Uber duel, because Kylo Ren's been training kicks Rey's ass for all those that hate Rey winning, and then Luke has to fight off 2 in a 3-way battle because Ren wants to take his place at Snoke's side, be his number 1, and eliminate all competition, which he finds in his rivalry with Benicio del Toro. So they're all trying to kill each other, and apparently there'll be some epic duel where it's 3-way, not just 3 guys 2-on-1, but 3-way duel where Ren kills Del Toro and then flees. This is what this guy was saying. I can't remember what happens to Luke. I'm not sure if he said if Luke dies, which would be quite a twist. That would suck for Luke. I kind of want Luke to stay into the 9th one.
Nah, he shouldn't have come back until the end of the second one.
You wanted him just in the last film?
Yeah,
No, that would have answered the problem about how powerful he is.
yeah.
But we're assuming he's powerful. He might not be.
But he's a bit of a crybaby, isn't
It was in the original.
Could have just meditated the entire time. We know he didn't have time to shave.
he?
30 years.
Well, he didn't have a lightsaber, did he? So.
Did he take his green one from after defeating?
I don't know.
It's-
Maybe. What's that?
Maybe.
Well, I think they could do a little bit more parroting of the original, like of Yoda. Well, I don't know, he
Training.
doesn't say that, and it's just implied that he just doesn't have a lightsaber. He doesn't actually say anything about not needing a lightsaber, but sort of like reflecting that in the Han Solo.
Yoda doesn't have a
Luke.
lightsaber. He loses it, doesn't he, in the fight against Sidious?
Yeah, but we're ignoring that.
Ignoring that.
Yoda.
It happens.
sorry.
Deal with it.
Luke Skywalker, like when it gets brought up, he could just say like, I have no need for a lightsaber anymore.
He could have just kept it in his under his bed or something.
Yeah.
Under his pillow.
Same way I keep my baseball bat under my pillow.
Exactly. It's just, who's that? Don't come in here. I'll kill you.
Alright, guys.
I would much prefer an unstable lightsaber like Kylo Ren's to a stable one.
Have you heard the whole discussion about how that one is more realistic?
Is it?
Because lightsabers are made of plasma or ionized plasma, which is like what you see out of like sun flares coming from the sun.
Yeah.
And when you see like pictures of that, it looks more like that. It's just what it is.
Uh,
And apparently, because it's unstable, that's their exhaust ports. A theory is that their exhaust ports to let out the excess energy.
Alright.
So, and he turned them into a use to make.
Well, I was watching something about hard light. You know what they use in Halo?
Yeah.
And how some people think that could be used to create an effective lightsaber, but it wouldn't cut through heat. Obviously, it'd cut through actually sharpness and.
Because it'd be hard, not hot.
Indeed.
That'd be cool.
Alright, guys, we've been rambling for a long time now. We've said a lot of different things. It's been very interesting. I've been John.
I've been Adam.
I've been
bad.
James.
And I've been Sean.